All right, so tell the people your at real quick before we get started.
On Instagram, you can find me at SydWillX. So how do I spell it? SYDW.
Oh, yes,
I can't even talk. SYDWILLX.
Okay. At the end of our other video, you said something very interesting. You said guys can be simps and there's nothing wrong with simps. Break that down for me really quickly.
I feel like simp is completely overused.
Okay.
Like on Twitter, I know you say you're not on Twitter, but on Twitter, guys will call other guys simps just for getting their girl something on Valentine's Day or for doing
That is kind of simp.
See what I mean? For doing regularly.
No, because here's the pushback though. Here's my context so you can understand where I'm coming from. It's not just simply to get your girl gifts for Valentine's Day. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. What I'm saying is, are you the person giving her a gift every Valentine's Day? Where's her gift? Is she giving you a gift from Valentine's Day? Is she giving you something other than the punani, which she gives you every other day? So I'm saying that in the context of our Valentine's Day should be a day of love, not a day of worship women. It's not Worship Women Day. It's Valentine's Day to celebrate the love between the two of you guys. So why is the guy the person who's always giving the female gifts and not the other way around? Versely, the girl giving the guy a gift and he's just sitting back for the day and just chilling. That's where I have the disconnect, and that's my context.
So do you think women can be simps?
Do I think women can be simps?
Because from that definition,
that's a
the
great
answer is
question,
yes.
and no, I don't think, because simp is a term for men.
But I think it's just so overused because, I don't know, lately I just feel like on social media especially, there's a trend. Y'all love trying to humble women. Y'all love trying to shit on us, basically. And so you call... See, that's that shit I'm talking about. So that's why y'all call any guy that treats a woman nicely or with respect a simp.
Okay. Give me an example, because everything is contextual, obviously. Because you said bring a woman down, as you should, because women are way too uppity. They for instance, in the sexual market value place, they might be an 8, but they think they are fucking 9 or a 10. So they might think
Who are you to tell somebody they're not a 10 though?
No, that's what I'm saying. In the sexual market value, I am the person who tells them they're 10 because I'm the one who's in the sexual market value, unless they gay and they only going for women. That's what I'm saying. Again, I want to be very contextual and understanding and hear my words correctly, because I choose them correctly and I choose specifically to make you understand. In the sexual market value, yes, in the sexual market value place, meaning that you are putting yourself out there to date certain men or to date men, men are the people who judge what you are. For instance, a man could be like, oh, she's an 8 or she's a 5 or whatever. Statistically, women actually think they are more than what they are.
I mean, we have to live in our own bodies. Who wants to look in the mirror and say, oh yeah, you look like a 5 today? Like, who's going to call themselves a 5?
A guy. A guy is much more realistic to...
But there is not the same pressure placed on you guys' physical appearance.
True. I would agree with that.
So for women, we got to look in the mirror and hype ourselves up because that's what a lot of our value is placed on how we look. So no woman who loves themselves is going to look in the mirror and be like, you look like a 3. I think that's a reasonable number for you. Like, nobody's going to do that. And if you do, you need to work on that, because that's not right.
Well, it could be right, because you could be a 3.
No.
What do you mean? Hold on.
Do not
It's
call
3s
yourself...
out here. Obviously, 5 is average. That's the average number. It's obviously some people who look less than average, and they could just be bomb at something else. That's nothing against them as a human and as a being, but facts is facts. Like, you could just look less than average. Also, you could look better than average. But we getting besides the point.
Okay.
Back to the point of simps. You don't think that it's simpy to like worship a woman? Because I think that's what the definition of simp is, to worship a woman.
I don't think, because I think women are worthy of being worshipped, and so are men. We, we care for you guys. We carry your children. We keep ourselves up to look up to your standards. We get our nails done, our eyebrows done, our hair done, our makeup done. Like, so I feel like women are worthy of being worshipped.
Okay.
I really do think so.
Do you feel like that equally so with men, or is it not proportional?
Yes. Like we just talked about, y'all want somebody that cooks for you, cleans for you, is submissive to you. Essentially, that's a type of worship. We put you guys
Hold
on
on,
a
wait,
pedestal.
whoa, what?
You don't think so?
No.
If you're looking for a woman who's submissive, who cooks for you, who cleans for you, who does all this
that's
extra
not worshiping
stuff,
me.
you don't feel like that's worship in a sense?
No, I feel like that's you bringing a certain value to the table. For instance, for example, if I am a man who am a traditional guy who wants to make all the money and the woman supports the household, my value to the table would be the money, would be the leadership, would be the masculine security of the household.
Okay.
Her value would be the submissiveness, would be the household, would be the whatever, all the other stuff. It's not I worship her for her values.
You don't worship her, but yet you're giving her all your money.
But that's not worship. That's me.
That's a form of it.
Hold on.
People give offerings at church, don't they? So you guys are each worshiping each other in different ways. She's worshiping you by upholding your household.
Okay.
You're worshiping her by providing for her.
I think we have a different definition of the word worship. Can you explain your definition of worship first before I continue? Because when I picture worship, I'm thinking of God. I'm thinking of like bending down on your knees like this. That's what I'm thinking of worship. What is your definition of worship?
I mean, making sacrifices for that person, or doing things for that person, or complimenting that person, making that person feel good. I feel like
that definition, I would agree, but I don't have the same definition of worship.
So then how does a simp, you think a simp is just somebody who gets down on their knees and, oh, you beautiful lady?
Yes, not necessarily in the physical aspect, but it's literal guys who are literally paying hundreds of dollars of bitches that they will never talk to, that they will never see OnlyFans. Like that blows my mind. That to me, you a simp. Unless you're a guy who's a YouTuber who's like reviewing OnlyFans. I would that's contextual and I would understand that. But if you are a guy who's just trying to worship a girl, like, oh my god, this girl is so amazing, I just want to give her my money and worship her.
Porn just became free in like the last 10 years.
Yes, but
so that paying for porn is not new. That doesn't make you a simp for paying for porn.
Yes, it does. In 2021, come on now.
Some people have specific wants and desires, and when you engage with somebody on OnlyFans, you are able to request custom content. You're able to get that backstage look at that person. You a good salesperson. You really are.
You must be a manager for somebody on OnlyFans or something, because you.
I'm just saying, like, okay, yeah, you can look up BBWs on Pornhub, but when you subscribe to my OnlyFans, not that I have one, you're getting to see the same person every day. Okay. You're getting to learn what they like, what they do. You see how they move. Yeah. You get to see that person, and I don't want to say build a relationship because that sounds creepy. No, but you build a familiarity to that person. Yes. And for some people, that turns them on more rather than just watching a random amount of people on Pornhub.
But that makes you a simp to me.
Oh my god!
if you literally cannot have sex with this woman and you're paying for her stuff and doing stuff for her and blah blah blah, to me you're a simp. That's just how it is. When you could take all that energy, that time, that money, and put that into yourself, build up your wealth, build up your status, build up your fitness, build up whatever it is you feel like you lacking, and go outside to the bars and talk to 3 women a day, or 1 woman a day, hop in the DMs of 3
people
women a day.
People that pay for porn are not people that can't have sex. Just because you can.
Now that would be an interesting study. I don't know the numbers about that, but that's an interesting take. I like that. Y'all like that. You should be a lawyer too. I do. No. But I would push back on that, because if you're getting a lot of sex, you're not really looking at porn unless you're a porn addict, or you just a sex addict.
Fair.
So if you are getting sex, and not even just getting sex of just one woman, I'm talking about you have multiple women and you barely have time for stuff, you're not on OnlyFans looking at one. No,
that's true. But what if you're celibate and building? What if you're
finding all the excuses right now?
I'm saying, what if you're in a situation we're not necessarily looking for companionship?
Yeah.
Maybe you just want to jack off. So you go on OnlyFans and you find a girl that you really like. You like how she moves. You like how she sounds when she does it. You like this, and the third. Why would you go on Pornhub and just look at random people when you can pay $10 a month and get 6 videos of this one person?
But why would you? My question is, both of those kind of make you a simp to me. Why would you do either instead of just go outside and actually get women?
Because some people
in
don't
your rotation,
want companionship.
Hold on, not companionship, but they get you to fall in love with them, right? And then you, and then you'll be like, hey, hey, this thing was not really working out. I just want to be, friends with benefits. I don't really want companionship. I just, if I call you, you come over type thing, and that's it.
So you want a prostitute that you don't have to pay for. That's number one. Because anybody that you're going to have sex with is going to require some type of attention. Some type of attention. Maybe a text here and there. I'm not necessarily saying dates or extravagant things. But anybody you're having sex with is going to require some sort of attention. Sex is never free.
Okay. True.
So, some people just don't want to do that. They're on their own personal journey. They're meeting their own goals. I ain't got time to be texting nobody all day. All I want to do is see my girl La on OnlyFans when I want to see her ass.
Again, to me personally, that still makes you a simp.
Oh my God.
Because you are, again, a simp is just someone who puts a woman on a pedestal when they shouldn't be on a pedestal. They should be your equal.
But why shouldn't she be on a pedestal?
They're your equal. They're not your pedestal. In fact, they're below you in certain women, and just like certain men should be below you, and certain men will be above you. Certain men will make more money than you. That's contextual. Certain men will make less money than you. Again, we are not equal. Nobody is equal to even just men. No one equal to just women. So for you to put women as a whole on a pedestal and paying for her OnlyFans, to me, that's simpness to the core. And never will get behind that type of shit. Period. But what other ways do guys, I would say, give value that would be considered simping on Twitter?
Like you said, the compliments, usually that, or guys that
Don't do that.
Guys that spoil their girls with gifts. That's usually like the top two things I've seen. You know, girls that get lots of compliments or things like that.
Okay.
You know, somebody will tweet back to them, "You're a simp."
Yes, you are a simp.
But shut up. He just like how
You're a simp. But the second one is a very interesting. We'll get back to the first one really quick. But the second one I want to touch on when you said flowering your girl with gifts. Now that one to me personally does not make you a simp. Okay. If she's your girl and she's been your side and she's been adding value to your life and she's been adding different things into your life, man, flower her with some money here and there. You know what I mean? Take her out to some fancy restaurant or do, different experiences with her that she would be inclined to. If she go to someone else, she'd be like, damn, I kind of miss the old dude. He used to take me to what? I'm just saying, make sure you do those certain things sometimes. Not all the time, but if she deserves it, then do it.
I just think it's overused.
Got you. Okay.
I really do. Like, you can compliment a woman and not be called a simp.
Okay, now we're going back to the first one, like I said. So, you guys, you should not be complimenting women. That's just period.
Why? What's wrong with making it feel good? It costs you nothing to compliment somebody.
Because it's free validation. We don't give away free validation.
Why do you care if somebody feels validated? Because it doesn't cost you anything to leave a comment on a picture.
It does.
While it might make her feel good.
You think it don't, but it does.
What does it cost you?
For instance, here's a breakdown. I'm about to tell you what it costs. Okay. This is what it costs. Okay. If all the guys, like they do now, are complimenting and chasing and going after all of the women, like they do now, don't you think of what is happening is the reason for that? For instance, a girl might think she's an 8 when she's really a 6 because of all the compliments, because of all the guys going for her, because all the DMs in her Instagram going for her. So instead of her understanding that she's a 6 and going for 6 guys or 7 or 5 guys, she thinks she's an 8, and anything below 8 she's not even entertaining.
And this is why I say that men are obsessed with shitting on women. Why do you give a hoot about what she values herself as? Whether she thinks she's a 10 or a 2, if she wanted to be with you, she would. So that had what?
No. I would have to push back on that because Tinder did some studies, Cupid did some studies, Friends did some. It was all these dating apps did the studies of who swipes on who and blah 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 blah. And again, what they found is 80% of women only go for 20% of guys.
Okay, but if you were gonna get her, you were gonna get her regardless of if she thought she was an 8 or a 2.
Now that
what's
is debatable.
What's meant for you is meant for you. Y'all don't have to shit on people.
I'm not saying shit on them. I'm not saying
but essentially, tear them down. You're like, you want to make sure she knows you're not an 8, you're a 5. You got to make sure she knows that. But if she wanted you, she would have came after you regardless. You don't have to humble people because that's not your place. Let people be confident and think they're an 8 if they want to think they're an 8. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If you don't think she's an 8, somebody's going to think she's a 10. somebody is going to think she's a 10.
Now that I would definitely agree with, but I would disagree if she's a 2. No one's gonna think she's a 10.
You don't know that.
No.
You
I do know that because they showed you the studies. Do you want me to pull them up for you? We can get to the data if you want to get to the data. But again, I would advise you to just get more in tune with the red pill stuff about the data that comes along with the red pill movement, so you can get a more understanding, and maybe you can even use it as a weapon to get a man that you want in your life to stick around and use him. You know what I mean? Use him how you see fit. But I do like the conversation about the simp, because simp is very prominent in today's. I know you said it's on like Twitter.
Yeah, for a lot. I'm tired of seeing that word. I've muted that word on Twitter. If a tweet has simping, I'm not gonna see it. So.
Oh, hold on. You can hold on. You can mute words on. Hold on. So you can mute things on Twitter that if they said this word, you won't see the tweet. Damn,
for sure.
I need to get back on Twitter. That sounds dope.
That's a good feature. I block lots of
things.
That's
a dope
I blocked
feature.
B. Simone as well. If any tweet has B. Simone in it, I don't want to see it. She's highly annoying to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of dangerous. I wouldn't advise anyone else to do that.
To do it.
No.
Save your mental health. You don't need to see things you don't want to see on your timeline that you curated for yourself.
See, now we about to have a back and forth, because then you get into the point of the echo chamber.
For sure.
That's when you get into the point of you only seeing the thoughts that privy in your mind instead of learning new things that's out there in the world. That's
let's
the problem.
say, for example, the word simp. I would have had to see the word simp to block it. I would have had to come in contact with it numerous times before I actually blocked it. So it's not that you're not getting the exposure to these things. I would have had to see that B. Simone is annoying as hell before I blocked her her name.
Okay.
So it's not that you're not getting exposure, but some things like you just want to block, like viral TikTok challenges. Yeah, I've seen 500 Busset videos. I'm blocking Busset because I'm tired of seeing it.
Gotcha. That's a great caveat. That's a great comeback. For the Busset thing, what do you mean you tired of seeing? Oh, I guess I'm a guy, so it's kind of different.
Yeah, I mean, like the what was the other one? Silhouette challenge.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Cool, but
you didn't do it.
How many times? My Busted video has 20K views, honey.
Oh, so you did it, but you blocked it. Hold on. What? That don't even make sense.
But, I mean, like, sometimes you just get tired of seeing the trends. Like,
Gotcha.
It was cool while it lasted. Let's move on. People don't move on as fast as I want them to move on, which is cool for them. So that's why I just mute the word. I'm not over here saying, ban Busted, but I don't want to see it anymore.
Got you. That's an interesting thing. You said people move on way too slow. I would definitely disagree. I think people move on way too fast.
If I have to see It's the Blank for Me one more time, you know,
that's new. That's like in the past 2 months.
That's old. And people say it back to back.
When's the first time you heard that? I mean,
for sure it was in 2020, but I'm saying, like, it was cool while it lasted. Let's find a new phrase.
Man, no. See what I mean? Let it sit. Michael Jackson said, let it simmer a little bit.
Now, if it simmered, cool, but it's boiling over.
Got you.
People are overusing it. And that's what makes it so played out. Like,
I literally just got it. So again, maybe I'm slow to getting these things, but I literally in the past 2 months have only just heard stuff like that.
So, like you said, you're not on Twitter. People who are not on Twitter don't get the full spectrum of things. Like, if you're on Twitter and then you go to Instagram, every video you see on Instagram, you saw on Twitter 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So Twitter is definitely way more fast-paced than Instagram. On Instagram, people are still doing Silhouette Challenge. People are still doing Busted videos.
Yeah.
On Twitter, people are past that.
Oh, seriously?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Twitter moves way faster, but I mean, Twitter is not as calculated and as formulated as Instagram is nowadays. You have to edit your pictures. You have to take 50 pictures to get one good picture. You have to take a tweet. You type a tweet and you press tweet. That's it. So it's definitely more fast paced.
Okay, got you. All right, now to just put a button on this simp thing, you would disagree that being a simp is a good thing. You would say being a simp is a good thing.
As long as you're not disrespecting yourself, I think you have free reign to boost up any woman that you see. Okay.
That's her thoughts that are not my own. Let me make this disclaimer. If you a simp, if you get on OnlyFans and you pay for girl stuff, that's just me personally.
Support sex workers, please, y'all. Support
No. I would not disagree with that. I would definitely agree with that. If you just want to fuck a prostitute and just,
I mean,
go out. I would say
not just prostitutes.
No. I know that, but I was just giving an example of that particular situation. But if, for instance, you want to do certain things in the sex world or whatever, do those certain things. But I would advise you to not do those things until you try to build up yourself first and you get that stuff for less than you would out there in the streets.
It ain't tricking if you got it. Okay? That's all I have to say. Some people are going to complain that you are subscribing for $10 a month. If you're a millionaire, that $10 a month is a half of a penny to you. So subscribe if you want to subscribe.
False, that's still $10.
I'm saying the proportion.
I still disagree. $10 is still $10. Like that's 10. What do you call it? What's those tacos on Taco Bell? Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm definitely one of those guys. No matter how much money I get, $10 is still $10. $1 is still $1. $100
But you're
is still
saying
$100.
that from this point. So a guy gets his girl a Gucci bag. He's not a simp because he can afford to get her a Gucci bag.
But that's contextual.
But that's different from a guy who's poor or I don't want to say poor, who's not as fortunate and had to scrape up all of his 50,000 hours of work to buy one Gucci bag. That's a simp. If you can afford a Gucci bag, give the girl a fucking Gucci bag.
Okay, I understand your point of view, and I get and I understand the proportion, but it still makes you a simp regardless of how much money. That's fine though. Like, I don't care if I'm a billionaire. If I spend a bag on a bitch that I've never met, and I was just like, oh, I saw your OnlyFans. It means nothing to you though. You're right. It does mean nothing to me, but it's still simpish behavior, is what I'm saying. It's not necessarily the amount. It's the behavior. It's the woman didn't do anything to deserve that. That's
she did. Do you know how much work goes into creating content for OnlyFans?
You're a spokesperson. You tell me you're a spokesperson for OnlyFans.
I'm just saying.
I'm telling you.
I support women that have OnlyFans because that is work.
Yes.
It's not just like they just put a camera up and do whatever they do.
No, 100%. I know personally women who do OnlyFans.
It's work. Yeah. It takes effort. People deserve to get paid for that if people want to pay for it. Nobody's going to put a gun up to your head and be like, pay me $10 a month and I'll show you my coochie. But if you want to see it, pay the damn $10 and you'll get access.
I agree 100%. But from the perspective of a guy who's saying you can actually get these women versus paying $10 a month for these women is a different perspective. I am definitely can understand the different perspective, and if you're a perspective of someone who's paying $10 a month, then you are simple. Like that's
taking that woman out on a date and getting her to the point where she wants to have sex with you is going to cost way more than $10 a month.
True, but I can actually put my penis inside her vagina, or I have the chance to.
After 50 dates and 30 nights.
No, after 3 dates, if you don't get the sex, they cut them loose. But
I'm not gonna agree or disagree with that. So,
before we finish, because I did just bring up a good point. Do you have a certain amount of dates to where you like quote unquote hold out, or quote unquote, if it goes past a certain days, this guy is like, okay, I'm done. Like, he's not even escalating. He's not a confident guy. I don't even want him no more.
This answer is ever changing for me.
Got you, as it should be.
Because, I'm a very sexual person, so it didn't really mean much to me. If I like a guy and I think you're attractive and I want to have sex with you, I would have sex with you. Okay. But lately, I've been on this dating dating clubhouse room with these matchmakers and stuff. And they always talk about how, women, we bond physically.
Yes.
And men don't bond physically.
Yes.
Or about how the point I made earlier, once you give a man what he wants, he's not going to continue to put in the same effort as he was putting in before. So as I get older and I'm looking for different things, I'm holding out longer for sure.
Okay.
For sure. But there's not like a set number of dates, but when I know you emotionally and I feel like you're somewhat invested, then I feel comfortable having sex with you because I know how invested women can get after we have sex.
Self-awareness, I love it. Where can they find you?
At Instagram, what is it? SYDWILLX. I keep
been on Twitter too long.
Yeah, no, for real.
This was another Patreon exclusive video, so I'm out. Like, yo. Oh my God, that was so funny.